everyone, and welcome to Two Mommy Podcast. Let me tell you, it is so good to finally be back in front of this microphone. January was stupid. Okay, I'm not gonna call it stupid. January was interesting. A lot happened. Life was lifing. COVID was COVIDing, and we had to leave because my husband got sick. And so I didn't want to get sick, didn't want the kids to get sick, because if I get sick, the kids are automatically sick because they are always on me and always clinging to me and everything. So we stayed at my mom's for almost a week, and listen, life has been lifing. But we are so glad to be right back here in my living studio and making this thing work. I'm so excited to finally be here today. We are going to talk about anxiety, or what I like to call momxiety, because being a mom and having anxiety is totally different than anxiety all on its own. Anyway, first I want to thank all of you guys that have listened to the launch episode and the first 3 episodes of this podcast. I am overwhelmed with excitement and joy. I'm so happy that you guys have found it to be enjoyable. I'm hoping to keep making more episodes, and it's such a nice little outlet. I kind of get to sit here and be maybe someone that I'm not in my real life, or maybe the version of me that a lot of people don't get to see. So it's exciting to sit here and do this. I want to start this week with a mommy win and a mommy woe. So my mommy win for this week is that my kids are really bonding, and it is the cutest thing to see. They are just growing up so fast. Bryce has started to randomly play the piano, and Mackenzie sits there and listens and laughs, and she's always wanting to grab his head and just be on him, and he thinks it's annoying because of course he does. He's a 2-year-old little boy, and it's just the most adorable thing to see. These kids really growing up and really being a part of each other's lives, because they're siblings, and that's kind of what I want. They're actually awake right now. My whole family is up, but I snuck downstairs to kind of try and do this. So if you hear little feet in the background or noises, I'm a mama. I got kids and I'm at my house, so it just is what it is. Okay, so my mommy woe for this week is that I am a little overwhelmed, and it's totally fine. I'm totally okay, but I think coming off of Christmas, starting the new year, getting back into the swing of things, I've just not been able to really find my footing. And I found myself kind of waking up a little bit later, and it's just not really, I'm not momming the way that I want to mom. And so we've taken like small steps to be able to move forward and be that's my baby. Yeah, his loud feet. We've taken small steps to be able to kind of go and do the things that we need to do to make sure that we are super prepared for the week. So that's my mommy woe. It's not really like a woe, like a womp woe, but for me it's a woe because I know, the things that I really want to get done, but I just haven't had the time to get done. I'm like super behind on everything. Laundry, cleaning, all of the things. My Christmas tree is still up and the stockings. So it's just so much work to do in this start of the year. But you know what? I'm giving myself grace because I got 2 kids. And even if I had just one, I'm a mama. And that's totally fine. I'm so excited to kind of get started with this topic because I've found that as a mom, my anxiety has kind of taken a new turn. So I talked on the first episode about how my anxiety was pretty different during my pregnancy. I was constantly taking pregnancy tests to make sure that I was still pregnant. I was always super nervous about just the baby and making sure that he was fine. I didn't mention this, but um, I have PCOS. I didn't mention that, and so my whole pregnancy I took metformin because of the super high rate that your baby is going to stay in your womb if you continue to take it while you have PCOS and are in a pregnancy. So when the time came, like a good time for me to kind of stop, I think I was at maybe 15 weeks. I explained to my doctor that it gave me so much reassurance, and she let me continue to take it all the way until I was at the hospital giving birth to Bryce and Mackenzie. And so it was just so interesting. Yes? Okay, go lay down. I'm mom. Anyway, my anxiety definitely took an interesting turn when I became a mom. And it's crazy the way that I get anxious about the silliest things. And so, for anyone who has anxiety, I do too. Mine is, diagnosed general anxiety disorder, all of those things. It's what it is. And I've had anxiety since about 2011, maybe 12, but I started having panic attacks when I was in 7th grade. So I think maybe I even had it back then, just not diagnosed. Um, and so over the years, I've gone to therapy, I've done a lot of different things to make sure that I keep my anxiety and panic attacks at bay because I hate panic attacks. I hate when I have them, they're not any fun. And having anxiety is not fun at all either. And so I found myself really, really struggling, especially when I had Bryce, with my anxiety. And so I would wake up in the middle of the night and go to his bassinet and make sure that he is breathing. And I would do this almost every hour. So I didn't get a lot of sleep at all. And eventually, I got tired. I got burned out. And he had to come and sleep in a bed with me because as long as you're next to me and I can feel you there, then we're good. And so with my daughter, it's a lot better because I've gone through the first with Bryce. And so with her, she can lay in her bassinet and I can go to sleep peacefully. And if I wake up in the middle of the night, of course, I'm going to check her and make sure she's good and she's breathing. But it's just crazy how things took a sudden turn whenever I started to be a parent. But you know what? I told someone this the other day. Our anxious minds tell us so many things. Our anxious minds tell us that something is happening when it's not, or it prepares us for something that's we think is going to happen but will never happen. And because we are human, our anxious minds are unkind. I'm just saying it. They are unkind. They are unyielding. Sometimes the thoughts don't stop. A lot of times you just got to keep with your coping to deal with it, but it is incredibly unkind. But what I've learned is that it's a constant battle between my anxious mind and my, faith and walk with God. And of course, my faith and walk with God always wins because God is the greatest power. But we sung that out in church on Sunday. But because God is the greatest power, he'll never be defeated, of course. And that's the constant thing that I have to tell my anxious mind is you can't win here. You're not going to win because I have a lot more faith in my God than in me. And that's okay. I don't have to have faith in me because, child, If it was up to me, my anxious mind would probably win all the time, and I would just be an anxious parent all the time. But I have to constantly remind myself that, you have a great big God that lives inside of you, and a great big God that can do all things and who has done so many things, including giving you these kids. He's not going to just bless you with these children and not equip you with what you need to make sure they're okay, including handling your anxious mind. And so I do a lot of coping, a lot of writing, a lot of affirmations. I have a list of people that love me unconditionally despite all that is me, that I look at whenever I'm having anxious thoughts that are really just a lot. I have done coping for years, and my anxiety is something that I've worked on for years. But like I said earlier, having to redefine my coping has been something that's been super interesting, especially because I have not redefined it since like for 10 years, because the same stuff has always worked. And now I'm having to find new ways to cope. And it's a great thing. It's a super great thing, because I think that you should always be developing ways to get over things. So it's just been a journey. It's been a super journey. But like I said, with Mackenzie, it's not as bad as it was with Bryce, because he's the first, and he still is the first, having first. It's just tough. I'm super nervous about letting him go up and down the stairs by himself. To this day, I have to tell my anxious mind, girl, calm down. It's all right. He's going to be able to walk up and down the stairs. He has to learn how to do this. You had to learn how to do this. You can save him from everything. And it just is a lack of faith for me to let my anxious mind win. So I have to let those feelings go. So he walks up and down the stairs freely now, and I just kind of peek over and make sure he's okay. But it is just a constant, always something in my mind like, well, what's going to happen? Girl, it's all right. Calm down. God's got this little boy. God's got your little girl. God's got you. And God's got you. For those of you that are on YouTube, you can see me pointing. But those of you that are listening, you can't see anything. But it's just an amazing thing to be able to watch these kids grow. And my favorite thing about watching them grow is watching me grow too. Like I said before, redeveloping my coping skills was something that I had to do. But being able to see me kind of grow through it is amazing. And one thing that I always tell myself is that even when you feel like you're extra anxious, to have a lack of faith like that is kind of a slap in God's face. He gave you these kids. Have faith that He's going to take care of them despite what your mind tells you. And that is the thing that kind of keeps me grounded and keeps me going when my anxious mind gets to me. I hope that that was helpful for someone, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to Two Mommy Podcast. So, I want to do a new segment called
Budget Says No.
Budget Says No. If you follow me on social media, you know that I am a huge bargain shopper. I like to thrift. I like to get deals at the grocery store because these kids are expensive and Mackenzie likes to eat. So my new go-to, well, it's not really a new go-to, what I've been doing lately a lot is going to Lidl. I don't know if everyone who's listening has a Lidl in their town, but I have a couple of Lidl, a few Lidls. I live in Charlotte, and so I go to a Lidl in North Charlotte, but I think there's one in South Charlotte, one in Concord. There's a Lidl around. And Lidl is like, I think, all these sister cousin, like they siblings or something. They're related. And so, of course, the store is laid out super nice. I love the way that it looks. They have a bakery that has like croissants and bagels, like fresh made ones. And it's just a great place to be. If you go on my social media, you'll see several shopping trips to Lidl. I did a really long one on TikTok most recently, and it's just a great place to shop because they always have really, really good deals on fruit and great deals on meat. And I know that sometimes Aldi and I'm guessing Lidl gets like a bad rap about their meat, but listen, I've never had an issue, but I have had an issue with meat from Walmart. Yep. So anyway, Lidl is a wonderful place to shop. If you have a Lidl near you, make sure that you visit. They have their own app. I wish that I could really show you, but I do have some like example videos on my social media. But Lidl has an app. And so in this app, you go and you scan it, you get rewards, all kinds of things. And you can scan your app and they give you discounts. There's like a certain way that you can go and get like, 50 cents off per pound of this or 20 cents off of this or buy one get one free of this, but you have to get the app. And then when you get the app, you get I think $5 off of your first order of $30 or more. Wonderful! And you get so many rewards when you use your app. And also in your app, you can make your shopping list. You can go in there and type in strawberries, and it tells you what aisle it's on and how much it costs. It doesn't get any better than that. So make sure you guys check out Lidl, download the My Lidl app. Please tell them I sent you because I'm trying to be a Lidl ambassador. So tell them that I sent you to Lidl and yeah, let me know how you like it. Write me back or comment back. And yeah, let's take a quick break. We are back and this is the end of our show. So listen, we are on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, and iHeartRadio. Of course, we're on YouTube. Make sure that y'all like and rate, share, subscribe, follow, all of those things on those social media apps. I really want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your mommy woes and your mommy wins for the week. So if you have a mommy woe or a mommy win, make sure that you email to mommypod@gmail.com. That's TOO mommy, MOMMY pod, POD @gmail.com. And I'll put it down here or wherever somewhere. I'm so glad that you joined me this week, and I hope to see you next week. And next week, life is not going to be life and like it's been life and lately. I'm speaking it and claiming it. Have a great week. We'll catch you next Monday. Bye.